What is going on, guys? Welcome back. So there is a new movie coming out called Lightyear. And what are you going to do? You're going to go see the movie? Would love to know what is going on there. I got 4 kids between 9 and 4. They love Toy Story and all that kind of stuff. We've been kind of catching up on Toy Story. My kids have seen the previews just from being around, watching YouTube and stuff like that. They've seen the previews and they're excited. But so I did some research on it because I was blindsided by going to see Doctor Strange with my kids. And sure enough, the new woman character, her parents turn out to be a homosexual couple, and they kiss in the movie, which I get it. And there's all that stuff that's happening with homosexuals. So I'm not trying to get into their business or anything like that. But I think what I'm in my mind, here's where I stand on this, guys. Okay. Whatever people do in their own time is what they do in their own time. I have a personal belief in it in terms of me and my family and my belief. I've had business partners that were homosexual, employees that were homosexual, employees that were trans. I found out that one of my assistants, my executive assistant, was trans one time, and I had no problem with. It was originally a he, now a her. I had no problem with that. From a business standpoint, I mean, I'm not there to do anything but employ the person. The person did a great job, so from a personal standpoint, I'm not making broad strokes or anything. I'm just saying that my view on all these things, all these woke topics, the racism thing, all this stuff, is I just want an accurate representation of what's going on in the world. Okay. I don't want agendas, big companies, Soroses of the world, politicians to be pushing people to start thinking and moving in a certain direction when they're not really doing that. Okay. And I think that is actually what's happening more and more, is that, you're talking about small minority groups that, were, let's say they were disproportionately, they didn't have advantages that some other people had or whatever. I don't know, that could be here nor there. There's a lot of debate around what I just said there. But let's say that part of that's true or that's true. So the answer to that is not to now have the reverse of that. So the reverse racism. Okay. And what I see here when I look at Lightyear and a lot of these new movies coming out, is they have basically set us up for me, my kids, and all this stuff that, we get attracted to the brand, attracted to the characters, and attracted to the story. But then all of a sudden, like the new woke versions, it's, disproportionately minorities or disproportionately women, or disproportionately, like it just seems like there's a disproportional representation when, it's like, at the end of the day, honestly, guys, at the end of the day, I don't really care. Like, I don't really care. I don't care if it's either way. Like Black Panther had mostly Black people in it. I don't really care. Right. I just don't want the political agenda behind it. Right. Like he said in the movie, the key guy, the Black guy, said in the movie, the Black Panther guy, he said, like, my people would rather, die drowning, jumping off a boat, drowning in the water, than come to a land where they would be slaves and they would live as slaves. So he was basically saying that Black people were jumping off of boats who were slaves coming to America. And so he made this reference there. Well, I think a proper historic view on that would say, well, dude, how did those Black people end up on the boat? Because it wasn't a bunch of fat white guys that went around chasing highly athletic, strong, fit Black people around, rallying them up. So how did those Black people, how were they already chained up? Oh, it was Black people who, especially like kings and people who were rulers in Africa, and they still do it to this day, by the way. But Africa is still very deep in slavery. That, I mean, how do you think that happened? And so that was my point, is like, yeah, dude, I get what you're saying. Like, these people didn't want to be slaves, but at the same time, there's not an accurate representation of what actually happened there, and that's not justifying the white guy who came to get it either. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to justify that either, but I'm saying, like, it's a chicken and the egg, right? It's like, could those white guys actually go there, get a bunch of African Americans and rally them up and chain them up? No. And so, they went and asked if Black people would do that for them and trade for pigs and beads and glass and necklaces and bracelets and all this kind of stuff. And that's what they did. Coming back to the movie, it's a sad thing what's going on to me. It's just a sad thing because I don't see any way that I'm going to take my kids to this, or if I do, I'm going to explain to them what is going on and how people are trying to indoctrinate them, and how we want to go, we want to laugh, we want to have fun, but we don't want to think that, the heroes always have to be black women or have to be women, because the reality is most of the heroes in the world are men, and that is mostly men's role. And most women, and this is proven, guys, through all surveys, TMZ, all these surveys, guys, women want to be saved by men. Okay. A dude in a bar pushes a girl. The girl is not expected. She doesn't expect that she's going to fist fight or push that guy back. She expects another man who's around, who saw it happen, to get up in that other dude's face, say, dude, why are you pushing this girl? I don't even know her. Why are you pushing her? And so, I mean, people expect chivalry and men to be, traditional and on all these kind of things. But yet, like, we ourselves are not traditional, and so I just feel like there's this paradox, kind of happening. And so I don't know, I don't know. I feel like I may not take my kids, and that's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, because they love it. But you think about all the things happening with Disney right now, and the Disney executives, talking about all the LGBT thing and all that stuff. And once again, guys, I don't have a problem with how people want to live their life. Like, and you might say, oh, well, you're a Christian and blah blah blah, and you should have this, and don't you believe it? And a man and a woman, I do. I fully believe in that. And in fact, but here's the thing: when I have relations with people that are personal, I'm not talking about business or whatever, they're personal. I might talk to them. In fact, not might. I would talk to them about those kind of things. Hey, what do you think about that in relation to our faith? Stuff like that. But if it's a business relationship or whatever, I don't think anything. I don't say anything because it's not my business. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, I get a little sick and tired of, like, Christians in the church. We don't do our job. We don't talk to our neighbors. We don't build relationships. We don't have people over to our house. We don't open our doors. We're not good. We don't study our own Bible. And then we demand that politicians and other people cover for us on all these topics. It's like, dude, if you were doing your job, these things wouldn't even exist. If you were holding together a nuclear family, if you were putting people in leadership who are Christian people, if you were putting good mentors and things out there, these issues wouldn't exist. But the fact that we're focused on and we're teaching on all the things that actually don't matter in the world, and I'm not saying Bible and things like that don't matter. And by the way, I'm not saying all pastors either, but I'm saying 90%, it seems like, or maybe more, are, like, guys, if you go church to church to church, in any given month or year, it is nearly impossible to find somebody who's talking about something relevant that's happening in the world. um and I get it, like, people want to know about the Bible and understand the Bible and feel good and stuff like that. And I think that there is a place and a time, absolutely, every single week for Bible study and those kind of things. um but anyway, I'll leave it at that. But I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Because I think we are now on a slippery slope with this whole, kind of the extreme version of LGBT, where it's like, it starts out with, like, teaching kids that they can be homosexual. It's like, dude, kids don't know. Kids don't. It's like, dude, kids think they're thieves. Kids think they can eat rocks. Kids think they can poop in their diaper. Kids think all kinds of stupid stuff, right? They think they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so I don't know. It seems out of proportion, to be teaching kids about homosexuality. That's a parent level thing. If parents want to do it, that's up to the parents. And if you have a problem with parents doing that, well, then why aren't you involved? Why aren't you involved in their lives? Why aren't you know what I'm saying? But you can't just broad stroke and put that on other people and think everybody should think like you. And then, so guys, it goes from, teaching kids about homosexuality. Then we're teaching kids about drag queen, story time stuff, though this is leaking into the schools. Then, there's LGBT indoctrination happening in children's movies now. I mean, I was thinking the other day, like, you can go into Target now, most Targets, and there's like a kids LGBT section now for kids clothing that's LGBT, kind of promoting. And it's crazy. So another interesting fact on this whole topic. Okay, interesting fact. So far there's 14 or 15 countries that have banned this new movie Lightyear. Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see when this movie comes out and how it goes forward, how the media and how people talk about it. Because right now there's already entertainers and politicians and people have come out and said, well, anybody who doesn't want to go see Lightyear because of the homosexual kiss, those people are just all morons. Then like there's people who've come out and said that. Well, okay, I got an honest question. Like, are you going to go out and ask, you're going to call all these Muslim countries morons? Are you going to say, hey, every Muslim who thinks this is a moron? Every member of the CCP who thinks this is a moron. You know what I'm saying? Because these countries, those are the countries that ban it, that actually ban it. Like, we have people groups in America, but we're not banning it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's interesting to me. Like, it just seems like a double standard there, right? Like, it seems like it's something that we'll say to Americans, but we certainly wouldn't say the exact same thing happening in a more extreme way. We won't say anything to those other people, which is funny to me. So, like, I get it. Like, I watched Toy Story quite a bit when I was younger. Came out in '95, and I thought it was an awesome movie. And even being a teenager and stuff, like, I just thought it was an awesome movie. And but now that I look back on it, yeah, there was like a lot of Caucasian type of characters in there, and it was probably predominantly Caucasian, without a doubt. For sure it was. But the answer to that is not to make it predominantly minority. That is not representation of America. You know what I'm saying? And certainly not predominantly Black either. I mean, Black people represent about 12% of America. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that there is, and somebody can call me racist or whatever they want for saying this, Gabe, but how can you justify this, that Black people represent 12% of America, which is awesome, great, more power to them. You can't say that I want 50% of everything. 50% of all NFL coaches, 50% of executives, 50%. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. And really, a lot of Black people are demanding for more than that. They want like 90%. And I'm saying, dude, who cares? I'm just saying, who cares? Who the hell cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you making this an issue? Once again, in this country, guys, this woke ideology is making us focus on things that are not an issue. These are not the issues in the country. The issues in the country are inflation, gas prices, food prices, open borders, lawlessness, murder, mental health. I mean, guys, these are the real issues. These are marriage is, over 50% divorce rate. We have our birth rate is negative still, which means other countries are just going to easily surpass us just because of the amount of people that they have. I mean, our education. I mean, these are the real issues in America. Why are we focusing on the stupid stuff? So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Are you going to go watch this movie? I would love to know. And how do you think people are going to react to it? How's the media going to react to it? Are they going to cover, all the people around the world and all the countries that are banning it? Or are they just going to focus on the people in America, the groups of people in America who say, we're not going to go because of whatever reason? And so anyway, I know what I'm probably going to do, but let me know what you guys are doing. So anyway, guys, I'll be here every single day. Appreciate you guys. Much love. Talk to you soon. Let me know.